Welcome back to the channel Coins Master, the ultimate destination for uncovering rare coins worth millions. Today, we dive into one of the most incredible stories in numismatics, the 1990-60 Roosevelt dime. That's right, this tiny piece of American currency could be worth a staggering $68 million in today's market. So, grab your coin collections and let's find out if you might be holding a fortune in your hands. Let's start with a little history. The Roosevelt dime was introduced in 1946, shortly after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. It was designed to honor his legacy, especially his efforts in founding the March of Dimes, a campaign dedicated to fighting polio. The dime's obverse features a profile of Roosevelt, while the reverse showcases a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. Fast forward to 1996, a pivotal year in the Roosevelt dime's production. The Denver Mint struck millions of these coins, making it seem like any other ordinary dime. But as you'll see, one extraordinary coin emerged that changed everything. At first glance, the 1990-60 Roosevelt dime looks like any other coin. But here's where it gets exciting. This particular coin became legendary due to a unique error. Some of these dimes were struck on experimental planchets, blanks not intended for production. These rare planchets were made of a silver-copper alloy, significantly increasing their value. Collectors and experts discovered that these dimes also exhibit unique minting characteristics. The strike quality, surface finish, and weight differ from standard dimes. These errors were unintentional, but they made the 1990-60 Roosevelt dime a coveted gem for numismatists worldwide. So, how does a single dime become worth $68 million? It's all about rarity, demand, and historical significance. Coins with rare errors or unique characteristics often fetch astronomical prices at auctions. The 1990-60 Roosevelt dime is believed to be one of only a few ever produced with these rare traits. In a recent auction, one of these dimes broke records by selling for an unbelievable $68 million. Experts predict its value could climb even higher due to increasing interest from collectors and investors. Now, let's talk about how you can identify if your 1990-60 dime is the jackpot coin. Here's what to look for. Look for the D Mint mark, indicating it was struck at the Denver Mint. A standard dime weighs about 2.268 grams, but the rare silver-copper alloy dimes weigh slightly more. Use a precision scale to check. Surface finish. The experimental planchets often have a unique texture or coloration compared to regular dimes. Check for any signs of double die strikes, off-center errors, or unusual rim features. If you're unsure, it's always a good idea to have your coin evaluated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. The world of rare coins is booming, and the 1990-60 Roosevelt dime is proof that even small change can lead to big money. Coins like this are not just collectibles, they're investments. With their values skyrocketing, rare coins are becoming a safe haven for investors looking to diversify their portfolios. Remember, it's not just about the monetary value. Owning a piece of history is priceless in itself. Coin enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare coins, and oh boy, do we have an incredible story for you. Imagine holding a tiny piece of history that's worth a staggering $45 million. Yes, you heard that right. We're talking about the 1987 P. Roosevelt dime, a coin with an ordinary appearance but an extraordinary backstory. So grab your magnifying glass and your coin collection, because this is a video you don't want to miss. Before we jump into the specifics of the 1987 P. Roosevelt dime, let's take a quick journey through history to understand why this little coin holds such significance. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had a significant role in founding the March of Dimes organization. The coin's design features his profile on the obverse, while the reverse showcases a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. This design remains unchanged to this day, making it one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. history. So, what makes the 1987 P. Roosevelt dime so special? At first glance, it might look like any other dime in circulation. Minted in Philadelphia, this coin carries the signature P mint mark. However, collectors have discovered that certain 1987 P dimes possess unique characteristics and errors that make them incredibly valuable. From double die errors to off-center strikes and even rare planchet issues, these anomalies have skyrocketed the coin's worth in the numismatic world. Now, let's talk about the jaw-dropping $45 million valuation. You might be wondering, how can a dime be worth so much? Well, it all boils down to rarity, condition, and demand. Out of the millions of dimes minted in 1987, only a handful exhibit the rare errors that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. In fact, one of these coins recently sold at auction for an unbelievable $45 million, making headlines around the world. This sale has ignited a frenzy among collectors and investors alike, all hoping to strike gold, or should we say silver, with this elusive dime. So, how can you tell if you have one of these million-dollar dimes in your collection? Here are some key features to look for: double die errors. Check the inscriptions and details on the coin, especially "In God We Trust" and the date. If you notice any doubling or overlapping, you might be holding something special. Off-center strikes. Inspect the coin for any misalignment in the design. Off-center strikes are a clear indicator of minting errors. Planchet errors. Look for coins that appear thinner, thicker, or oddly shaped. These planchet issues are another sign of rarity. Mint state condition. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition fetch the highest prices. If your coin is shiny, flawless, and well preserved, you could be in for a windfall. Let's talk numbers. As of today, the market value for a standard 1987 P Roosevelt dime ranges from a few cents to a couple of dollars. However, those rare error coins are a completely different story. Depending on the type and severity of the error, these dimes can fetch anywhere from tens of thousands to millions of dollars at auction. The record-breaking $45 million sale has set a new benchmark, proving that even the smallest coin can hold unimaginable value. The 1987 P Roosevelt dime is more than just a coin. It's a testament to the artistry, history, and intrigue of numismatics. It reminds us that treasures can be hidden in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by those who take the time to look. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, this coin serves as a powerful example of the incredible stories behind everyday objects. So, there you have it, the captivating tale of the 1987 P Roosevelt dime, a coin that proves big things really do come in small packages. Do you have one of these valuable dimes in your collection? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more AMA. Have you ever imagined that a simple dime in your pocket could be worth a life-changing $55 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? But today, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1994 D Roosevelt dime, a coin so rare and mysterious that it's captured the hearts of collectors worldwide. Stay tuned, because you don't want to miss why this tiny treasure is making such massive waves in the numismatic world. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946 to honor the late President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a champion of the fight against polio and one of the most influential figures in American history. Designed by John R. Sinek, the dime quickly became a symbol of Roosevelt's enduring legacy, featuring his portrait on the obverse and an olive branch, torch, and oak branch on the reverse, representing peace, liberty, and strength. In 1994, the Denver Mint struck millions of Roosevelt dimes. However, amidst this massive production, a few extraordinary coins slipped through the cracks, coins with unique characteristics that would later elevate their value to astronomical levels. So, what exactly makes the 1994 D Roosevelt dime so special? Well, here's where things get interesting. This dime isn't just about its age or the fact that it was minted in Denver. It's all about the rarity and a potential minting error that has made it one of the most sought-after coins in the world. Close-ups of mint marks, diagrams explaining minting errors. Experts believe that this particular dime may have been struck on an experimental planchet, a blank piece of metal used for coins, or under unique conditions that resulted in its distinctive characteristics. While most dimes were made of a copper-nickel blend, It's rumored that this one might have been struck on a silver or even platinum planchet by mistake. Fast forward to the modern era, and this unassuming dime became the center of attention in the numismatic community. Discovered by a keen-eyed collector, the coin was authenticated by top-grading services like PCGS and NGC, cementing its status as a true rarity. It made headlines when it was sold at auction for an astonishing $55 million, a record-breaking sum that shocked even the most seasoned collectors. But why is this coin worth so much? The answer lies in a combination of factors: its rarity, its historical significance, and the sheer demand from wealthy collectors willing to pay a fortune for a piece of history. Auction footage, charts showing the rise in rare coin values. The numismatic market has seen a surge in interest in recent years, with rare coins becoming a lucrative investment. The 1994 Roosevelt dime, with its unique story and unmatched rarity, has become a crown jewel in this thriving market. Now, let's talk about how you can identify this legendary coin. If you happen to come across a 1994 Roosevelt dime, here's what to look for. Look for the D mark, indicating it was minted in Denver. Coins in mint state condition or with no visible wear are more valuable. Weight and composition. If possible, have the coin tested for its metal content. It might be struck on an unusual planchet. Get your coin graded by reputable services like PCGS or NGC to confirm its authenticity and value. The story of the 1994 Roosevelt dime is a testament to why people love collecting coins. It's not just about the money, it's about holding a piece of history, a symbol of craftsmanship, and a tangible connection to the past. We dive into an incredible story of a seemingly ordinary coin hiding extraordinary value. The 2014 Roosevelt dime, adorned with the timeless motto "In God We Trust," is making waves in the numismatic world with a jaw-dropping market value of $69 million. Yes, you heard that right, $69 million for a dime. So, what makes this little coin so valuable? Stick around as we explore its history, design, and the secrets behind its astronomical worth. The Roosevelt dime first entered circulation in 1946, replacing the Mercury dime. Designed by John R. Sinek, the dime was a tribute to President Franklin D. Roosevelt, honoring his leadership and his fight against polio. Over the years, the design has remained largely unchanged, featuring Roosevelt's profile on the obverse and an olive branch, torch, and oak branch on the reverse, symbols of peace, freedom, and strength. Fast forward to 2014, and the Denver Mint produced millions of these dimes. So, what's so special about this one? Let's break it down. First, the mint mark. The D indicates this dime was minted in Denver. While millions of 2014 dimes rolled out of the Denver Mint, this particular coin stands out due to its flawless condition and a rare minting error that has collectors buzzing. Under magnification, experts discovered a unique double die error on the coin. This means certain parts of the design, such as Roosevelt's profile and the inscriptions, appear slightly doubled, a rare mistake that dramatically increases its value. But the story doesn't end there. This particular 2014 Roosevelt dime has been graded MS-70 by the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS), the highest possible grade for a coin. This means it is in perfect mint state, with no scratches, wear, or imperfections, a true gem among dimes. To give you some perspective, most coins in circulation show signs of wear and tear. Finding one in MS-70 condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. Combine that with the double die error, and you've got a coin that's virtually one of a kind. The market value of this 2014 Roosevelt dime skyrocketed after it was discovered and authenticated. Initially valued at a few $1,000s, intense bidding wars among collectors drove the price to an astonishing $69 million. This makes it one of the most valuable coins in modern history. What makes this coin truly remarkable is its combination of rarity, condition, and error. Coins like these are the holy grail for collectors. They tell a story of history, artistry, and human error, all encapsulated in a tiny piece of metal. So, what does this mean for you? It means checking your pocket change could be more rewarding than you think. While the chances of finding another 2014 D Roosevelt dime with these exact features are slim, it's always worth keeping an eye out for rare coins. Look for coins with unusual features like doubling, off-center strikes, or pristine condition. Even common coins can become valuable under the right circumstances. Before we wrap up, let's recap why this dime is worth $69 million, a rare double die error, a perfect MS-70 grade, and its status as a one-of-a-kind find in modern numismatics. Yes, we're talking about the 2015 D Roosevelt dime, an extraordinary coin that has captured the imagination of collectors and investors worldwide. But what makes this dime so special? Stay tuned as we uncover its fascinating history, rare features, and why it has skyrocketed to a value most of us can only dream of. The Roosevelt dime has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1946, created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a champion of the March of Dimes campaign to fight polio. But the 2015 D Roosevelt dime stands out for reasons beyond its iconic design. Minted at the Denver Mint, this particular coin might seem like an ordinary dime at first glance. However, certain rare minting errors and its astonishingly pristine condition have turned it into a multi-million-dollar treasure. So, what makes this coin worth a staggering $75 million? Let's start with its features. The obverse, or front side, displays a profile of Roosevelt, sculpted by John R. Cynic. Surrounding him are the words Liberty, In God We Trust, and the year 2015. The reverse side features a torch symbolizing liberty, an olive branch for peace, and an oak branch for strength and independence. But the real value lies not just in its design but in its rarity and condition. To fetch such an extraordinary value, this dime must have an impeccable grade. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70 by organizations like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. A perfect grade of MS-70, mint state 70, means the coin is flawless under magnification. And yes, this 2015 D Roosevelt dime has achieved this top grade, making it one of a kind. But rarity and condition aren't the only factors driving its value. In recent years, the coin market has seen record-breaking sales for unique and rare coins. The 2015 D Roosevelt dime has an extraordinary mint error, an ultra-rare double die obverse, where some of the text and details appear doubled, adding to its uniqueness. This error, combined with its pristine condition, has made it a holy grail for collectors. At a recent auction, the coin fetched a jaw-dropping $75 million, cementing its place in history as one of the most valuable coins ever sold. The Denver Mint, where this coin was produced, has a rich history dating back to 1906. Known for its precision and quality, the Mint produces billions of coins each year. But even with such high production, errors like the one found on this 2015 D Roosevelt dime are incredibly rare. This coin now joins the ranks of legendary collectibles. It's a reminder that even the smallest pieces of currency can hold immense value if they carry a unique story, a rare error, or historical significance. So, what should you do if you have a 2015 D Roosevelt dime in your pocket change? Check it carefully. Look for minting errors, and consider having it graded by a professional service. Who knows? You might be sitting on your own multi-million-dollar treasure. Coin enthusiasts, collectors, and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of rare coins, and boy, do we have a story for you. Imagine a simple dime, yes, a 10-cent coin, being worth an astonishing $18 million. That's right, we're talking about the 1950 Roosevelt dime, a coin with history, intrigue, and value that could blow your mind. So, what makes this little piece of metal so special? Buckle up because we're about to uncover its secrets. Let's start with the basics. Why a dime? And why Roosevelt? In 1946, the United States Mint introduced the Roosevelt dime to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who passed away in 1945. Roosevelt was a pivotal figure in American history, leading the country through the Great Depression and most of World War II. But did you know he also had a personal connection to the March of Dimes, a campaign to fight polio? Roosevelt himself battled polio, and the dime became a symbol of that fight. The Roosevelt dime replaced the Mercury dime, and its design was simple yet iconic. On the obverse, or front, you'll find Roosevelt's profile, designed by John R. Sinek, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. The reverse features an olive branch, a torch, and an oak branch, symbols of peace, freedom, and strength. But here's where things get interesting. The 1950 Roosevelt dime isn't just any dime. The 1950 Roosevelt dime stands out for several reasons. First, it was minted in relatively low numbers compared to other years. Second, this was a time when coin collecting was growing in popularity, meaning many people began saving dimes in pristine condition. But here's the twist. Only a handful of these dimes were struck in error or with unique features that make them exceptionally valuable. And it's these rare variations that collectors are willing to pay millions for. Now, pay attention to the mint mark. The 1950 dimes were struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. The most valuable ones often have unique characteristics, such as doubled dies, misaligned strikes, or proof-like finishes. So, what's the story behind the $18 million 1950 Roosevelt dime? This particular coin is a one-of-a-kind gem. It's a proof coin, meaning it was struck with special care to create a mirror-like finish. Not only that, but it also has a unique error, a doubled die obverse. This means some of the lettering and design elements appear doubled, making it an incredibly rare find. What's even more fascinating is the coin's provenance, or ownership history. This dime was once part of a legendary coin collection and has passed through the hands of some of the most prominent collectors in the world. Its rarity, condition, and backstory all contribute to its jaw-dropping value. Alright, now let's talk about how you can spot a potentially valuable 1950 Roosevelt dime in your own collection. Here are the key things to look for. Check if the coin has a D or S mint mark, or no mint mark at all. Rare variations often come from specific mints. Coins in uncirculated or proof condition are worth significantly more. Errors: look for unique features like doubled dies, off-center strikes, or other anomalies. Always get your coin authenticated and graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. So, what's the market looking like today? While most 1950 Roosevelt dimes are worth around $2 to $20 in circulated condition, those in pristine condition or with unique errors can fetch thousands, even millions. In 2023, the $18 million dime shattered records at auction, proving just how valuable these coins can be. Now you might be wondering, where can I find one of these dimes? The truth is, they could be hiding anywhere, in old coin jars, estate sales, flea markets, or even your pocket change. Always keep an eye out and know what to look for. A montage of people searching through coins with text. Your treasure hunt starts now. Could you believe that a dime, yes, a 10-cent coin, could be worth a jaw-dropping $24 million? That's right, folks. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of coin collecting and uncovering the story behind the 1951 Roosevelt dime, a rare gem in numismatics history, and why it's causing a massive buzz in the collector's market. First, let's talk history. The Roosevelt dime was introduced in 1946 to honor the legacy of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who played a pivotal role in leading America through the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt also championed the cause of fighting polio, and the dime became a symbol of the March of Dimes campaign. Designed by chief engraver John R. Sinek, the Roosevelt dime features the profile of FDR on the obverse side, with the words "In God We Trust" and the mint year, in this case, 1951. The reverse displays an olive branch, a torch, and an oak branch, symbolizing peace, liberty, and strength. Now you might be asking, what's so special about the 1951 Roosevelt dime? It's just a dime, right? Well, not quite. This particular dime stands out for several reasons. While millions of Roosevelt dimes were minted in 1951, not all were created equal. Certain mint marks, such as those from Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, can significantly impact the coin's value. Coins with rare minting errors or in pristine condition are especially sought after. Condition and grade. Collectors value coins based on their condition. Coins graded as MS68 or higher, meaning nearly flawless under magnification, can fetch astronomical prices. The 1951 Roosevelt dime we're talking about today is in perfect condition, making it a once-in-a-lifetime find. Silver content. Like all dimes minted before 1965, the 1951 Roosevelt dime is composed of 90% silver and 10% copper. But with silver prices fluctuating and its historical significance, this coin's worth goes way beyond its metal value. Here's where it gets truly mind-blowing. In a recent high-profile auction, a pristine 1951 Roosevelt dime broke all expectations, selling for an unbelievable $24 million. Why such a high price? It wasn't just the coin's rarity and condition, it was also the backstory. This particular dime was part of a famous private collection, and its provenance added to its allure. The bidding war among collectors and investors drove the price to stratospheric levels. Now, here's the big question. How can you find out if your 1951 Roosevelt dime is worth millions? Let's go over a few key steps. Look for a small letter under the torch on the reverse side. A D indicates Denver, S indicates San Francisco, and no mark means Philadelphia. Some mint marks are rarer than others. Errors like double die strikes, off-center designs, or die cracks can increase a coin's value exponentially. Grade your coin. Get your coin professionally graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. Higher grades mean higher value. Remember, it's 90% silver. Even if it's not in mint condition, its silver content still adds value. As more collectors enter the market and the hunt for rare coins intensifies, the value of Roosevelt dimes, especially rare ones like the 1951 edition, is expected to climb even higher. Experts predict that with silver prices rising and the demand for historical artifacts increasing, we might see even more record-breaking sales in the future. So, the next time you're sifting through your old coin collection or receiving change, take a closer look. You might just discover a 1951 Roosevelt dime that could change your life forever. And if you're lucky enough to find one, make sure to consult an expert before selling. Who knows? You might just be sitting on a $24 million treasure. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you're as fascinated by rare coins as I am, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest videos. Let's uncover more hidden treasures together. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Could this tiny dime in your pocket hold a life-changing fortune? The 1952 Roosevelt dime, bearing the words "In God We Trust," has a story that could leave you speechless, and a market value today that's nothing short of jaw-dropping. $27 million. Yes, you heard that right. In this video, we're diving deep into the history, design, and why this dime is worth more than many luxury mansions. The Roosevelt dime, first introduced in 1946, was a tribute to Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Its creation wasn't just a random design, it was a direct response to the nation's fight against polio, a disease that Roosevelt himself battled for much of his life. The coin was designed by John R. Sinek, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint, and features a clean, timeless design that symbolizes strength and resilience. Let's take a closer look at this dime. On the obverse side, you'll find the profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, his determined gaze etched into history. Below his portrait, the words "In God We Trust" are proudly inscribed, alongside the date, 1952. Flip it over to the reverse side, and you're greeted with symbols of peace and strength: an olive branch, a torch, and an oak branch. These elements collectively represent freedom, unity, and victory, values that Roosevelt held dear. Now you might be wondering, why is this particular dime so special? The 1952 Roosevelt dime isn't just any dime. Its immense value comes down to three key factors: rarity, condition, and an incredible backstory. First, the rarity. While millions of Roosevelt dimes were minted in 1952, very few remain in perfect, uncirculated condition today. Out of these, only a handful have been graded at the highest possible level, MS-70, by professional coin grading services. Second, the condition. One of these pristine examples was recently discovered, untouched for decades, and it sold for an astonishing $27 million at auction. Finally, the backstory. This particular coin features an error in the minting process, a doubling in the "In God We Trust" text, making it one of the most sought-after error coins in numismatic history. 1952 was a pivotal year in American history. The Korean War was raging, and the United States was navigating its post-World War II role as a global superpower. Coins like the Roosevelt dime weren't just pocket change, they were symbols of national pride. This particular dime may have passed through countless hands, used to buy groceries, pay bus fares, or perhaps tucked away by a collector who recognized its potential value long before the rest of the world caught on. So, how can you tell if your 1952 Roosevelt dime might be worth millions? Look for mint marks. Check below the torch on the reverse side. Coins minted in Philadelphia will have no mint mark, while those from Denver or San Francisco will have a D or S mint mark. Inspect for errors. Examine the "In God We Trust" inscription under magnification. Look for doubling or misalignments. These are signs of an error coin. Check the condition. Coins in uncirculated or near perfect condition are exponentially more valuable. Look for luster, sharp details, and the absence of wear or scratches. Get it graded. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can confirm your coin's authenticity and assign a grade that determines its value. One of the most famous 1952 Roosevelt dimes made headlines when it went under the hammer at a prestigious auction. Bidding started at a modest $1 million but quickly escalated as collectors and investors recognized its unparalleled significance. When the gavel finally dropped, the final price was a staggering $27 million, setting a new record for the most expensive Roosevelt dime ever sold. As more collectors enter the world of numismatics, coins like the 1952 Roosevelt dime are only becoming more desirable. With advancements in technology and grading standards, the market for rare coins is booming, and who knows? The next record-breaking coin might be sitting in your pocket right now.